Hello everybody and welcome to Letterbox Book Club. I'm Mackenzie.
And I'm Claire.
And welcome back to Fanfic February. This week we will be discussing Court of Mist and Fury from Rhys's point of view by Illyriantremors on AO3.
Okay, yep. I'm looking at the wrong one then. It's okay. There's one on Wattpad as well by Crazy Girl Forever. And I thought that was the one.
No.
Oh, I guess there are multiple Rhys point of views.
Yes. This was the most popular one. Hang on. There are multiple versions out there, but this was the most popular one that I could find on TikTok and when I searched.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
So,
okay.
Don't know what you're looking at.
I just assumed it was on Wattpad. I don't know. That's, yeah, my bad. Hey, don't read fanfics, so...
Alright, this will be a little bit different than all of our other books that we have done, because After was turned into a book and a movie, but this one obviously has not been turned into a book, and it is just a Court of Mist and Fury retelling, sort of. So just to catch us all back up again, I'm going to read the blurb about A Court of Mist and Fury.
Okay, ooh, I like that.
So Feyre has undergone more trials than one human woman can carry in her heart. Though she's now been granted the powers and lifespan of the High Fae, she is haunted by her time under the mountain and the terrible deeds she performed to save the lives of Tamlin and his people. So, this is from Rhys's point of view, though. So, thoughts, feelings, emotions, Claire?
We like to say we know where it ends up, you know?
Yeah. We are in a unique position.
It was fine. I don't know how else to really describe it. I respect fanfic writers because they have the creative license to create these worlds and situations where no one else would be able to express. Respect the living shit out of it. Probably not my forte moving forward, but unless it's in a proper book structure, kind of like After.
Yes.
Yeah, I respect it. I enjoyed it. Maybe moving forward in the book career, other people's perspectives like this is still probably not for me, maybe in the fanfic space, just because there's just a lot of presumption, and like at the end of the day, we're never really going to know how Rhys felt, because Rhys is obviously Sarah's character, and I feel like whatever she says goes. But absolute respect, and I'm glad that everyone enjoyed it. It was nice diving back into this world again, especially now since CC3 is coming up, so, you know, getting refamiliarized with characters and perhaps artifacts and all that type of stuff. And just like rehashing out Mist and Fury in general. It was very nice to come back to and reflect. But yeah, it was fine. Dare I say I enjoyed it a little bit, but what about you, Kenzie?
I'm sure I'll talk about this on After, because... Actually, let me rephrase this. I'm sure that I have spoken about this on After.
Hey.
But I will reiterate what I said. In that... I don't know where I stand with fan fiction. So okay. I am, like you, where I like it, I enjoy it more in an actual book format. And then it is kind of taken away from that fan fiction universe and turned into, based on, instead of like your name / whatever. Yeah, again, I struggle with the fan fiction, as a whole, because, these characters are the original author's characters, and I know that when you read a book, that characters do sort of become our own as well, we get attached to them, but I find it difficult to connect with the writing when there's presumptions, and like bonus added stuff, and it's like, okay, but now you're taking the character and you're making it your own, and that could contradict what the author has already said. But I can kind of suspend my disbelief for fictional characters. It's when, and I will talk about this in After, I have spoken about this in After, this is real insight into the order that we record things as well.
Spoiler alert, we have not read or recorded After yet.
Yeah. But in After, and also in The Love Hypothesis as well, when it was in its original format, it's like, these are kind of real people. Like, that you're writing about, and especially, I know there was lots of controversy with After, because Harry Styles was a teenager at the time it was written.
Yeah, I just saw it. That was 2023. Like, we were 17 in the grand scheme of things.
Last year is 2023. You mean 2013?
Sorry, 2013. Sorry. Yeah, like I'm sure we'll talk about that. Yeah, more in depth. But yeah, like that's just crazy to think about. You know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, and also, yes, I will talk about this in Manacled as well, but I know in a lot, of fanfics that they age characters up, and that's okay. But yeah, let's not write about minors.
Yeah, fair.
If we're adults, let's not write about minors in a fanfiction situation. If we're minors, then go for your life.
Yeah, but lucky with, like, the ACOTAR world, like, they're already 18, 19, whatever, so that's fine.
Yeah. Also, so my thoughts, feelings, emotions were, once again, I was happy to dive back into this world. ACOMAF is by far one of my very, 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 very favourite books. Yeah, so I was happy to be back in that world, such as you, like, on the cusp of CC3. Nice to reintroduce myself to these characters. And although it is a lot of, like, presuming about other characters, I did enjoy seeing the curtain lifted on some of these characters, if you will, because whilst Feyre is kind of navigating her own stuff during ACOMAF, Rhys is navigating his own, and then obviously in ACOMAF by Sarah J. Maas, we don't see the sort of behind the scenes inner circle conversations, things that are going on, especially when, it's coming out that Feyre and Rhys are mates, and when it does come out, because Moore and Amren knew, and then he says that, like, Cassian and Azriel assume, but, like, not confirmed, but clearly it was confirmed, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have qualms. We will get to them. This will probably be, like, a little mini episode because we've done this book.
Yeah.
And we can beat ACOTAR into the ground, like, at this point.
We can only say so much, and we know where it ends up, and I don't know, I don't want to, like, criticize too harshly on the writer, because they've done an absolute service, because a lot of people really yearned for a Rhys point of view, and they've done the job.
Yeah, well, we can just get into it then. My big issue was, I think, like, tremendous job on writing it. Well done. Go you. But it's so hard when there's already a book out there, because also as well, like, I wanted more about that whole 3 months where Rhys doesn't take Feyre away from the Spring Court. Like, he doesn't do good on his deal for the first 3 months. He's like, I'll just let her be, she's my mate. And then in this one, we just kind of get him, Cassian and Azriel at the Illyrian camps, dealing with the Highburn sympathizers or whatever, and then it kind of just cuts right to the same timeline.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, but where is all the other stuff? Where's that 3 months? It wasn't just them going around killing everyone.
Yeah, no.
For 3 months. Yeah. Also, I need to apologise. Sorry, I have my pedestal fan on because it is very hot in my studio, which is very generous of me because I'm in the corner of my garage.
Hey, it's your creative space. Yeah. It's a little corner in the pocket of your world. We will treat it with such respect.
Yes.
Yeah. And I completely forgot about the whole 3 month thing. So I feel like, that could have been a significant starting point for sure. Because I think it could have drawn a lot more angst from Rhys, being like, all right, I can't see Feyre. It's as angry as I am with the Illyrians and all that stuff. Like, I feel like that could have added more angst to it, I guess, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It feels weird, critiquing a fan fiction such as this in a way. Yeah, the 3 month gap could have been, the very significant starting point. But I suppose the advantage the writer had was that they had a whole book and then following along with the chapters and then adding their own implements. So maybe the 3 month gap would have been too much creative liberty.
I mean, so the 3 months would have been a long time for sure, but I mean, I wanted a little bit more in that time instead of just, again, another recap of the night he came back and fell into Moore's arms or whatever, and then just, I have to go and deal with the Illyrian sympathizers, or the Highburn sympathizers. Yeah, and so now that we're talking about the angst, I want to know how you felt about the angst as a whole.
I like angst when there's in a weird way, reciprocation. Like when both characters know that they like each other and they're fighting against it for whatever reason, whether it be there's conflict or world or other people against them or against the relationship, whatever. I do not like one-sided angst like this. And this is why when I said, like, I'd rather not know the point of view, because then, yeah, it's very presumptuous, and Rhys in this point of view comes off as very, even more possessive in a way, but it can be drawn back to the mating bond, and it makes the fame men fucking crazy for their mates, whatever. And it keeps coming back to the presumption, like when Rhys was talking about, oh, Feyre is going to meet my family, she's going to love them, oh, my mother would have loved you, oh, you got the ring from the river, like my mother would have intended for you type of thing. But like Feyre does not know all of this, and it just makes him sound obsessive and crazy, but we obviously know where it ends up, so it doesn't matter. But it just ticks me off in that sense. So yeah, I don't like it when it's one-sided like that, if that made any sense.
Yes, I agree. This is the thing, this book ruined Rhys for me.
Oh no. You've now cut off ACOTAR. We're going to delete everything. Goodbye.
Yeah. The podcast is over. We're done.
Yeah.
I cannot continue to make my legacy built on a fallacy and lies. No, let me explain. I was so excited about this book because I'd heard such good things, and I feel like in our 2 years of doing this, that Book Talk has never really lied to me, you know? Apart from Haunting of Adeline, but I can get past that. It's fine. I can forgive
complex.
Murder. That was fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it was shit, but like...
In a way, if I'd taken a book recommendation from Book Talk and I don't like it, like, I'm not going to be a dramatic queen about it and be like, oh, but it really lied to me, wait. It's like, alright, it just didn't come to me, so whatever.
Yeah, because it's like, let's remember that we are 7 billion people on this earth, and we all have different tastes. It's fine,
for sure.
Okay? But Book Talk lied to me on this one.
Fandom, like ACOTAR, the ACOTAR fandom failed you.
The ACOTAR fan, yeah. Perfect, let me just reply to this. Sorry, I have so much to organise.
Well, on the day we are recording, Kenzie's going on holiday.
Yeah, tomorrow. But it's the night before. So, yeah, Book Talk has lied to me. I was so excited to read this. I love Rhys, I love ACOTAR. I have grown to admire Rhys' faults because he's not this perfect shadow daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I had really strong opinions and issues with the way he was written in Silver Flames, but as a person I have grown, and I'm at peace with the world, and I'm zen, and I'm above it all, and I get it.
This is fine. A redemption for you.
Jesus. My issue with this is that he is the biggest fucking man-child crybaby that I've ever seen in my life, and that is not my Rhys.
Yeah, no, that is not
my president.
Hashtag not my Rhys.
Yeah, I need to write down a hashtag not my Rhys for when we release this.
But again, it's just a creative taking liberty, and like it doesn't.
So, this is what happened. I think and also, so I don't think this is illegal, but we downloaded the fic off AO3.
Yeah,
and then we put it on our Kindles.
The option to download.
There's a download button. Yeah, exactly. So I was going to say like a few pages in, but it was a PDF format. So the writing was, first of all, the layout was really weird to read. The format, that's it. So I was going to say like a couple of. I reckon by like chapter 2, I was donezo on Rhys.
Okay. Yeah.
So then from that point, instead of approaching it as ACOTAR is my most favourite series in the whole wide world. ACOTAR is my life. Again, I've built my legacy in this podcast on ACOTAR. I went into it the same way I ended up going into Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Oh.
And yeah, this is how I explain, because that is the ultimate fan fiction. This is how, because I went and saw it, and then like Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and then a lot of my friends were going to go and see it, and they're like, what did you think of, like, how blah blah blah? And I said, what you need to do is you need to approach it as just it's in the same universe as Harry Potter. These people aren't Harry Potter, Hermione Granger, Ron Weasley, whatever. They just happen to have the same names, and it is a different story within the same universe, a la Fantastic Beasts or whatever.
It's like its entire separate entity, just like an alternate universe almost in the universe.
Yeah. It's like variants in the multiverse. Because these are not the characters. These are not the characters you grew up and learned to love. These are very flawed, not even just flawed, very incorrectly created characters.
Okay, yeah.
And that is the hill I will die on for Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. But anyway, so that is how I ended up approaching this. I was just like, oh, this is in the ACOTAR universe, and these just happen to be characters with the same name.
Just take it with a grain of salt, almost.
Yeah. And then also, I really struggle, and I don't think we've ever had a book really, unless we have, for example, bonus chapters in someone else's point of view. I don't think I've ever read a book where, when it's in someone else's point of view, that we just have a whole copy and paste of conversations and sections. Yeah.
From Blood and Ash, A Soul of Ash and Blood. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm like. I know we've been here. Yeah. So
we've had this conversation before. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least with that, it's from the actual author, so we actually know what, for example, Jennifer L. Armentrout intended for Castile to feel and reveal.
So I'm going to call it a book. A lot of this book fan fiction was just copied and pasted segments of conversations between Feyre and Rhysand, or when they go to the summer court. So again, that was a real struggle for me, because in my mind, I've been here, I've experienced this, I want to see the other side of it. And it wasn't so much, I wanted to see a little bit more of, Rhysand with Cressida, and it was kind of just, again, brushed off. Oh, I took her for drinks, and then I let her kiss. But no, I don't think they kissed. I think he kissed her on the cheek or whatever, and then I sent her off to bed, yeah. Anyway, and so it was still just, whole copied and pasted segments, and then, maybe 2 or 3 sentences tacked on the end that explained Rhysand's feelings about it, which we could have discerned ourselves from reading
perhaps
the original book. I'm doing a lot of wizardry.
That's okay. You gotta talk with your hands sometimes. Yeah. Move around.
Yeah. And then again, this book ruined Rhysand for me, because he is this 500-year-old, dare I say, Valg prince.
Don't bring conspiracies into this. Hey, there might be a point of view part 2 post Crescent City 3, and then he will be a Valg. So
anyway, he's this 500-year-old Shadow Daddy, Illyrian warrior, OP, king of Prithian at this point.
Oh my god, he's not king. I know he's not High Lord.
High King. Anyway, and in this book, he's just reduced to a 17-year-old boy pining after a girl who doesn't like him back.
And very horny, yeah.
And very horny.
He does get reduced to that, unfortunately.
And there were so many moments where he had to, remind himself, oh, Feyre's not my anything, she's not mine, she's his mate, but at that point, she's not my mate, she's not my anything, blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking, good, you're self-aware. But then in that same...
continuity?
It would be... I'm so sad. I want her to realize I don't know what to do. Blah blah blah. And...
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think the fanfic itself is really obviously focusing heavy on the relationship aspect, because it's not yet meant to be an absolute retelling of this fantasy series. Yeah, it's just primarily about the relationship and the angst and the torment of Feyre and Rhys's relationship. But it did come off pretty whiny and. Yeah, just a lot of, possessiveness of the, she's my mate. And even when, I don't know, Cassian low-key flirted with her, like, he's all like, shut the fuck up, or don't say that, and all that stuff. And it's like, just let it go,
And again, I get, that, it's not a pizzeria. It is the mating bond.
What were you going to call it?
A pizzeria?
A pizzeria.
Like a pizza restaurant. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, so it's not the pizzeria. I know there's that mating bond, and it makes possessive. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Possessive pizzeria. And it makes you possessive. But we see that in ACOMAF, and we see it in this fanfiction as well. Is when they come back from when they finally come together, and Cassian says like, oh, like hard right, oh, if you're not too tired like me, and then Rhysand beats the shit out of him. I didn't need any more of that, because I get it, and I can understand where from Rhys's point of view it would be anyway, and I don't know.
I agree. Like, as I just said in my thoughts, feelings, emotions, like that's how I feel, and like that's the best elaboration I could ever put.
And I think it's just because I'm yearning for a Rhys's point of view from Sarah J. Maas.
Yeah, like only Sarah could fill this void and make it canon.
Yeah, I think I was saying Penelope's here as well. Anyway, saying I think I'm just yearning for because I think I'm missing the writing style of Sarah J. Maas in this, and I do think, and again, good on the people who write fan fiction. I could never, but I do think there is an ease of writing it that comes from just being able to copy and paste segments, and also in that these characters already exist.
Yeah.
So you are just writing an extension of them. Whereas when you have Love Hypothesis, for example, that started as fan fiction of the two characters for sure, but it was in a completely separate universe, and it was just their characteristics and stuff, which again is an easy way to begin to write.
For sure.
But you have created your own universe.
I've always wondered, like, why are fanfic writers, like, obviously so talented at using already made universes and stuff, which is fine, because once it becomes, open to the court of public opinion and almost public domain in a way, you're allowed to take it and use it however you want, essentially.
Yeah.
But I always wondered how, if you were such an excellent and talented writer, how are you not able to then almost create something for yourself from scratch, in a way? I don't know if that...
Yeah. And then, because I think about fanfics, whereas, it could be like the Asriel and Eris canon, like fanship, like that fan fiction. It's like, you're just taking the characters and you're creating a whole new storyline. Whereas this, and again, it is pigeonholed into that it has to be a retelling of ACOMAF. But I just wanted, more Rhys and less ACOMAF.
Yeah, more actual Rhys to himself going about perhaps his daily life. Again, the 3-month gap. Or even when Feyre was... I suppose there was more cut, because we didn't get a lot of Feyre interacting with the Weaver, because Rhys couldn't do anything. He was just sitting there. I think a lot of it has to do with, Rhys's involvement in ACOMAF in general. Because a lot of the stuff that...
Yeah.
A lot of... The main point of that book was essentially setting Feyre up for, like, another set of trials. Like, the Weaver, she's trying to use her magic to track things, and, like, what can he do? All he could do is just sit there and watch, and then maybe be like, I hope she doesn't die, or I hope she doesn't kill the Weaver. And going to the Summer Court, it's like, I need her to weasel her way into Tarkin's, I don't know, confidence, and be like, find out where the book is. All he can do is sit back and watch and wait. Like, I think it's really hard when he has that real, like, stagnant integration. Not integration. He just has a stagnant approach to the ACOMAF story in general. Like, it probably wasn't the best book to have a full point of view about him in that sense, because there's not a lot of action he's taking, other than the killing the Illyrians in the first couple of chapters.
I think I would have enjoyed, and I do hope there's probably one out there. There is, I've seen it.
It's just like you just talk through it and you answer your own question, and I do that all the time as well.
I want, the Rhys and ACOTAR retelling.
Yeah, that would be good, because we actually don't know Rhys as well in ACOTAR.
Yeah. And I've seen Under the Mountain.
Oh, like I've seen some similar. A title
Rhys and POVs. I think this same author does them.
Okay. Maybe that could have been a better fanfic to have read.
Yeah, well, I'm just a fucking idiot, ain't I?
No, that's okay. But no, that would make sense, because in ACOTAR we didn't know Rhys and we didn't really know his intentions that well. He was just known as this relatively evil High Lord Shadow Daddy. Who is Amarantha's whore, and what does that mean? And what is he doing while, Tamlin and Feyre are gallivanting around the Spring Court? Like, I think ideally that probably would have been a better fanfic. Yeah,
Sarah, if you're listening, give us that one. Thanks.
Sarah J. Maas, please.
I know you're writing like you're running out of time, but...
I mean, surely you can just whip this out. If Jennifer can write like this, then...
Oh my god.
Honestly. Big boy, chunky books. You can chuck out a novella. It could be a novella.
A novella.
200 pages.
ACOTAR was small.
Yeah, 200 pages, max. Just strictly Rhys doing whatever he's doing for Amarantha. And then him saving, obviously, Feyre. hello there, fairy darling, or whatever. And the whole Claire Boda situation, Boda, whatever. It would have been great.
And I know that the mating bond clicked in at the end of, like, when they're on the balcony or whatever. But I would have liked more of, I wish I had that book where, we see his dreams when he sees Feyre painting and stuff. And then when he, like, obviously, like, goes to her to give her the bargain because he wanted to keep her alive. Because surely I wanted to, like, if you're starting to question, like, why am I so drawn to her? Like, this is the girl from my dreams, like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it'd be like, why do I feel this pull? And, like, what bargain am I going to make to have her somehow come into
and then
me?
when he, felt her neck break, like, saw Amarantha break her neck.
Doing miscellaneous tasks for Amarantha even, and him being like, I hated here because, him being is pretty much sexually abused throughout that entire time as well, like probably how he's feeling and like how he's coping, etc. How he feels about having to have essentially abandoned Valaris as well, and all his inner circle and stuff. Like, he probably felt so alone. Whereas in this book, or fanfiction book, whatever, for ACOMAF, he had everybody around, and then he had that support.
Yeah, for sure. And Feyre had no one.
Well, she kind of had Tamlin. No, it was just so nice, revisiting those bits and pieces. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I skimmed quite a lot. But it was nice to be like, oh yeah, I remember Ianthe, I think that's her name. I'm like, I remember the Book of Breathings and the Cauldron, and the Jurian being resurrected was the main part of ACOMAF, because, like, sometimes I'm starting to get plot points between ACOMAF and ACOWAR confused. I think they're one and the same. And interacting, obviously, with Nesta and Elaine again, I think there was, like, a cheeky comment, I think, or perception by Rhys about, oh, Nesta and Cassian might be together, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, they were always going to be pushed together. It pisses me off.
I think he said that, though, in...
Yeah, I know.
Like, in ACOMAF anyway, he was like, oh, like, the way they look good together or something, or, like, something like that, I don't know.
And I don't know, just maybe because of the looming CC3 stuff, them re-talking about, like, even Amryn, how she's, from another world, and even talking to the bone carver, being like, oh, or, I don't know,
Is at this point that I beg of you, I have been spoiled for CC3.
I know.
So, the way you are talking...
no, but it was nice to highlight, though, like, and just the bone carver stuff, and, But again, we've seen it all before. And really, it was just another test for Feyre, so all Rhys can really do is just sit and watch. Like, I think what I was trying to say about Rhys is, like, there's no real productivity for him, as weird as that is. Even though he is organising all this stuff, and he is trying to prepare for the looming war of Highburn.
Or even, like, the week he goes, the first week when Feyre comes or whatever, and he leaves her alone, it's like, show me what he was doing.
Yeah. And that's when you take that creative liberty.
Yeah, that's just a sentence like, oh, I went and dealt with stuff, like, in the other court, in his court of nightmares. So it's like, okay, I want to see the political world building.
Yeah. The fanfic writer doesn't know because she's not Sarah.
Yeah.
We're never going to know. Yeah, Sarah, please. But I'm glad it filled the void a lot of people probably felt while waiting between books and novellas and maybe CC and all that type of stuff. Like, the fact that I'm now going to sound snobby, and it wasn't a proper book structure until, like, the very last couple of chapters, because it probably literally was to copy and paste. And Poppy's smiling. Hello. I'm just sick of, like, the one sentence paragraphs and the overemphasis of, like, my mate underlined. My mate, repetitive. Yeah, Poppy agrees. That's right. It was a nice little read. The formatting was just because it's from AO3 and it was just downloaded. Not much else to really kind of speak on it. Like, again, we've already discussed ACOMAF as its entirety 2 years ago. Fucking hell.
Yeah, wow. Alright, let's go to the stars that listen.
Oh, how are we going to do that?
I will give a 5-star and a 1-star. Okay,
alright.
My 1-star is immediate 1-star use of the word cock.
Oh my god. I mean, ACOMAF ACOMAF was never this, like the proper ACOMAF was never this vulgar, so that makes very, very good sense.
Yeah. And my 5-star is woohoo, more Rhys.
Absolutely. Do you have any other thoughts just in general on your views on fanfic? Or we've pretty much said what we've needed to say in Love Hypothesis.
Yeah, I feel like I will speak more at the beginning of After, because that'll be the actual welcome to Fanfic February.
Yeah, and it also is renowned for its controversy.
Yes.
I suppose that concludes this episode of Letterboxd Book Club. Who was the writer again?
Illyriantremors.
Illyriantremors. Thank you so much for writing this fanfiction. Like, I respect fanfic writers so much.
I respect the hustle.
I respect the hustle, not for me. And I'm glad, yeah, again, it filled the void for the ACOTAR fandom. And it's something that a lot of fans have been yearning for. Yeah, it was a nice little insight. But yeah, ultimately not for me. But I respect it. Alright, and that concludes this.
Thank you. Yeah, that concludes.
Thank
you all for listening.
You go.
Find us on the socials. Our Instagram is the best place, letterbox_book_club. From there, our link tree is in the bio, where you'll find us in all the places.
And we are continuing on with Fanfic February. Next week, we'll be kicking off with Manacled.
Yes. I don't know who it's by off the top of my head, but I will find out.
Yeah, it's as far as I'm aware, it's a Hermione Draco fanfic. It's very popular.
Yes.
It's a chunky chapters
right
as well.
Here.
I saw quick stats on AO3, I think, and it has like 6 million hits. Like, that is incredible.
By Senlin Yu.
There you go.
Yeah. Would you want a summary?
Oh, we can have a summary.
Harry Potter is dead. In the aftermath of the war, in order to strengthen the might of the magical world, Voldemort enacts a repopulation effort. Hermione Granger has an order secret, lost but hidden in her mind, so she is sent as an enslaved surrogate to the High Reeve until her mind can be cracked.
Have you read the graphic content tags?
Yep.
It's fucking insane.
I'm scared.
We're gonna have to read all that in the beginning of the potty, just so you know.
That's fine, I can do that.
Wow. You can do that in your natural pace.
The rating, the archive warning, the category, the relationship, characters, additional tags.
Yeah. Jeez. Alright, we'll be discussing that next week. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy fanfic February, and bye.
Yeah, bye.